Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing things a little bit differently. I'm not going to be doing a favourites video because there's honestly just not that much stuff that I would have to put in it that is new or new to me or anything. I've been using a lot of the same stuff that I've recently recommended anyway. So what I thought I would do is sort of do a little sort of daily get ready with me, sort of favourites get ready with me type thing. Pop it all on my face and show you how it works. But yes, that's what I thought I would do. I'd love to hear your feedback on what type of sort of makeup videos that you like to see. Do you like to see the ones that are like 20+ minutes, which are me having a chat whilst I'm popping makeup on? Do you like the sort of short and snappy ones, which are like done to music, or something in between, which is what I'm going for today? But yeah, let me know if you have a preference. I'm happy to do both. Both are fun for me. So yeah, let's get cracking. First of all, I'm going to put a primer on. And this one's by Becca. This is the, is this the First Light? No, it's the, yeah, First Light priming filter, I was right. So I'm popping a bit of this on because my skin today just feels a little bit like it just needs a little bit of moisture. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to plonk some of this on. I've actually finished a whole one of these and then I got a little sample and then put it back in the bottle and I was like, that's easier to use. Anyway, yeah, it's sort of this like colour correcting sort of sheeny primer but not glittery or anything. So in regards to my base, recently I've been thinking about wedding makeup. So I'm heading to a wedding in a couple of weeks and I've sort of been thinking about what sort of base that I want to be looking for. So I'm going back through my foundations and looking for stuff, and actually the one that I've pulled out quite a lot is the Perfection Lumiere Velvet. I think it's a really good travel foundation. I also think it's a good summer one because it's quite matte. I've actually been enjoying mixing it with the Vita Lumiere Aqua, which is in the same packaging as this, but the bottom bottle is sort of a beige colour. But I can't find that because I quite like that. That gives a little bit more of an edge to it. It doesn't have it as flat. Not that I think this is flat by itself, but I just think they work well together. But I can't find that, so I'm going to be mixing it with the Photo Focus foundation by Wet n Wild, giving them a bit of a mix together. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to colour correct with this, and then I'm going to do that. So this here, this is the NYX Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in that orange colour. As you may have been able to notice, I have really dark hereditary circles under my eyes, so I'm going to use that to combat that. Hang on, I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. This is nice. This looks terrifying, but now I'm going to pop some foundation on and not look as scary. With Wet n Wild, it comes on a spatula, so I'm just going to take a little bit off the spatula on the back of my hand, and a little bit of this. I'm going to use my hands to pop them on as well. But yeah, that Chanel foundation, the Perfection Lumiere Velvet, really does have a sort of cream to powder finish. Like, it really does sort of have like a, it sort of really does dry down. Oh, hello. It really does sort of like dry down, which, depending on what sort of you like, depends on whether you'd like that or not. But I think mixing it with a little something that's a little bit more skin, it's not flat matte. I feel like I mean, it's Chanel, so I feel like with their sort of branding, you know that you're not going to get like a full coverage sort of situation. But I think mixing it with a little something else just gives it a little something. Anyway, I've been enjoying a mixture of foundations, and as you can see, I've still got a tiny bit of orange from the corrector under my eyes. So I've been using two concealers. Before I move on to concealer, I want to give you an update on one I recommended in my last favourites, which was by Makeup Revolution. I've finished that concealer already. Like, I went through that concealer like that. It's £4, so it's not, you know, breaking the bank, but like I went through it abnormally quick, like quicker than I would a normal concealer. I don't know if it's because the doe foot applicator is bigger, so that takes up more space in the container, and I know you can look at the millilitres/grams beforehand, which admittedly I didn't do, but yeah, I just went through it really quickly. So I don't know if I would actually repurchase it because, yeah, I just went through it so quickly. So I'm returning to two favourites of mine. This is the Beauty Pie Super Luminous Concealer, which has actually, I'm in the colour 100 Fair, but it really has that sort of salmon undertone. So I'm going to put that one under my eyes first, and then I'm going to go over it with, I've ripped the entire label off. This is the, you know what this is. This is the Maybelline Anti-Age Under Eye Concealer, and this is in, what colour are you in? No idea, probably fair. Yeah, it says 100 down the bottom, so I'm assuming that means fair for them too. So I'm going to pop those on. This one has like a sponge applicator which you squeeze product out and then you can sort of use it to move the product around, but it doesn't blend the product in. Yeah, it's sort of a bit like that. So I like putting that on first, because of that sort of like pinky undertone. And I find they work quite well together as well. Right, so that's concealer number one, the Beauty Pie one on, so then I'm just going to layer the Maybelline one right on top. And also just using my hands for this as well. Just sort of like a bit of a pat sweep is what I go for. So I like to put setting spray on in 3 separate intervals, so it sounds excessive, but I don't put tons and tons on in each one, and I just find having that layering really does elongate the longevity of my makeup. The one I'm using at the moment, which is nice enough, is by NYX, and it is their matte finish one. Honestly, the part of why I went for this one was the size of the bottle. There's a bunch, like the Urban Decay All Nighter or the Kat Von D Locket Setting Spray, which the bottles are huge, and like, yeah, cool, you get loads of product, but for the most part I like to work, I have like a makeup storage section, but I like to like work out makeup out of the makeup bag, and this is, you know, a decent size one, like it's as big as my head. Yeah, and I find those just take up too much space, too much valuable space. So yeah, I quite like having ones that have sort of smaller bottles. Next, moving on to powder, this is one by, speaking of Kat Von D, and speaking of the Locket range, this is the Locket Translucent Powder by Kat Von D. Like, I don't like travelling with this, again, because it's quite big, like, you know, it's obviously quite generous, but also just the type of product it is. If I have in my makeup bag a loose powder, it would be one like the Beauty Pie one, which has sort of like a mesh sort of thing in it, because I can just see it just going absolutely everywhere. Oh, where's the brush? And I also quite like using a duo fibre. This one's by Real Techniques. Yeah, just like using like a duo fibre brush. I quite like using a duo fibre brush. Look at that. To apply it, because it sort of keeps a sort of thinner layer than really packing it on, because again it's translucent. Because I've got quite a fair bit of coverage on with both foundation and concealer, I don't like necessarily adding more on with a powder, because that's just the way I like to do things. But anyway, I then like to go in again with the setting spray, just to take down any harshness that the powder may have left, although to be fair it's not too shabby. So I go for quite like a matte look, but my oils will sort of mix with the powder and the foundation during the day, and it'll sort of still be a natural finish, but that is on the side of matte. That's typically what I go for. Anyway, I'm going to be moving on to eyes, and actually it's going to be a bit of a shock horror if you've been around these parts. I'm not going to put any eyeliner on, not because I don't want to, but because I've ran out, and after this video I am ordering another Kat Von D tattoo liner. It's my favourite, as you probably already know. I may have like a backup eyeliner, but I don't want to use it. So anyway, this is a favourites video, so I haven't got my favourite at the moment because it has died a death. So I'm going to be using some eyeshadow primer. This is by Milani. This is their eyeshadow primer. It says it's works on all skin tones, but it is in #1 nude. I don't know if they do coloured ones, but I always found that interesting on the packaging. It's like, oh, it works for everyone, but there's also still shades. I like to take it out on my finger, just a little bit of this. Again, with eyeshadow primers, I'm not too precious with them. I've heard the Nars one's supposed to be really good, and I've never tried it, so maybe I'm living a lie. But yeah, I just follow the directions on the back of the packet, which is leave it on and wait for it to go tacky. So typically I'll either do like my contour, or today I'm going to do my eyebrows whilst that's sort of waiting. I'll just pop my eyebrow powder on, which is nothing new. I love using the Anastasia Beverly Hills brow powder, and the brush I like to use is by Zoeva, and it is their brow line. I don't know if you can see, I think I've mentioned this before, hang on, I'll hide my face. So the actual like amount of bristles, it goes along quite a lot, but they're actually quite short. I just find it helps me get a more precise line. I do have another brow liner brush, I believe is what it's called, from Zoeva, which is nice, but this is the one that I prefer. And I use the shade Medium Brown in the eyeshadow powder, and I just run across both of the colours, and then when I'm doing detail work either in the front or the back, in the front I'll use more the lighter colour, and in the back I'll use the darker shade, if that makes sense. I start in the middle of the brow, just because that'll often have the most product on, and then I'll run it underneath to create more of a sharp line, then go into the lighter colour, and then I'll take it sort of on its side, like vertically, and just run the brush through sort of the first centimetre. Now I'm going to set my brows in place with the Boy Brow by Glossier. I use the colour Brun. I've got a fresh new one. I bought this about a week ago, and it's just come. I actually bought the Lidstars as well, which I need to play around with more, but at the moment I'm not crazy on, if I'm honest. That's also in part why I've got nothing really to talk about, because there's a few products that I'm still playing around with, and I'm like, I don't want to sort of put them as favourites, because they're not, you know, they're just new products that I'm still getting to grip with and still sort of testing out, so I don't want to put my seal of approval on them until they're sort of deserving of it. But yeah, again, speaking of the wedding that I'm going to, I bought the Lidstars because I thought, oh, like I bought the colour well, I've got them literally right here. I bought like the red one, which I believe is the colour Cub, and I bought the colour Moon as well, which is sort of this like champagne-y colour. Hang on, if I just move my hands out of the way. Yeah, I bought these two, and they're just sheerer than I thought they would be, and they're sort of more, oily is maybe the wrong word, but like the thickness of them for a liquid eyeshadow is sort of different to what I'm used to. I'm used to more of a moussey texture, whereas that's more of sort of like a thicker, oily, maybe giving you the wrong impression. But anyway, I don't know, I just thought they would be similar to something like the Stila Magnificent Metals, which I love this one here. This is the colour Smouldering Satin. Actually, I might put these on my eyes. Do you know what? I wasn't planning on it, but maybe I will for you guys. But yeah, I expect them to be a little bit more demure than these, because these are really glittery, although I know you can get more sort of metallic ones. And I don't know. Let's play back with them, shall we? But anyway, moving on to eyeshadow, I must admit, because I ended up speaking through my brow tutorial, I actually did end up setting my lids with this palette here. I believe this was the last eyeshadow palette I mentioned, because I literally don't think I've used anything since. This is by Nars. This is the Nars Wanted palette, and I think I have used it every single day I've worn makeup since I got it. If not, like, I'm talking like, and I got this in January, like, I have used the absolute shit out of this. As you can see, like the skin colour, the bone colour, I've swiped all over my eyelids, and that's what I do, but I really do enjoy this palette. I am thinking about doing like a sort of a dedicated video with a couple eye looks from this. Like, I've done a few videos like that before, so I'm thinking about doing that. I hope that it's not sort of too late, because I'm still loving this palette. It's 55 quid, which is a lot, but honestly, I think it's well worth the money. Anyway, so using this palette, I'm going to be using this sort of lightest brown colour here. Hang on, Seven Heaven. Yeah, Seven Heaven I'm going to be using. I've already used Biarritz. Oh wow. Yeah, as I said, I've used sort of the nude colour all over my eyes up to my eyebrow, because it's just sort of like a similar skin tone to mine. And I'm just going to be using this Seven Heaven on a really big fluffy brush. This one's by Smashbox, and I believe it's called their crease brush. And I'm just sort of really blowing out this crease here. Next up, I'm going to be taking the colour Temptress, which is this bright red colour here. It looks, I think, a bit more scary in the pan than it is, and I'm going to be using a Real Techniques brush. This is the B04 from their Powder Blue range, and sort of going basically the same place that I went with the brown, but this brush tip is a little bit more tapered, so it'll be a little bit more concentrated in the crease. So having them two together will give it a nice faded out sort of effect. And honestly, for my day-to-day makeup, I'll take a little bit of Temptress under my eyes on sort of like a liner brush, liner, lashes, good to go. I mean, it takes me about 5 minutes, you know, obviously. Today I'm talking to the camera, whereas usually I'm just rushing. But I think I am going to play with these actually, and I think what I will do is I will take a bit more of Temptress sort of over the eyelid, sort of 2/3 of the way, so I still have like a little bit of lightness in the corners, and then I'm going to layer Cub over the top of it. Yeah, I'm taking a 217 by MAC, and I'm just going to shove a bunch of Temptress over 2/3 of the outer third-ish of my lid. I also think, because I'm not wearing any liner, this will sort of give my eyes a bit of pizzazz. Oh my god, that's a point. So, since my eyeliners ran out, I've gone to work, and I've had not one, but 2 people asked me how tired I must be. Not tired, mate, I just don't have any eyeliner on, and it just makes my eyes look smaller. But hey, maybe they don't realise how rude that comes across. And then I'm also taking the first brush that I used with the brown and just sort of making sure that is all nice and blended as well. Okie dokie, Cub. Now it is your time to shine. What I might do, actually, is I might take a bit of Cub, and instead of applying it straight with the doe foot applicator, I'm going to pop a bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use a sort of more like a concealer brush to apply it. Yeah, I've got this sort of concealer brush that I might use. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. Sorry for dissing you, Lidstar. Well, I mean, I do also have a colour layered underneath it as well, which is similar, so maybe that's part of it, but yeah, that's what I'd recommend. Don't go straight in with the doe foot. Pop some on the back of your hand and use a concealer brush to apply it. Oh, if you'd like to see a wedding look, words, Thomas. If you'd like to see a wedding look makeup, or sort of see what I wore as like a wedding guest type of thing, because I'm getting to that age now where I know a lot of people are getting married, so if that's something you'd like to see, I would be very happy to do that. Although I suppose this is kind of me experimenting for it. And then, because I'm a grade A skank, I'm going to take, not Cub, Moon. I'm going to use the other side of the brush that I've just used and apply it in the inner third, and then I'm going to go over with Shooting Star in this palette, so it's a little, it'd be crazy glittery. But do you know what, I really think you could use Moon as like a highlighter if you were just sort of in a pickle and had this about. I think it would work well sort of all over the face as sort of a highlighting product, but today I'm using it in the corners of my eyes. So this is me without putting any of the Nars Shooting Star over the top, and it's just soft here. I don't know why, it always looks like I've never blended there, and I promise you it is blended. But yeah, for me this is definitely a more of a sort of softer look than what I'd usually go for, but you know, weddings and all that. And also with these super duper shiny shades in this palette, ring finger's your best friend. If you apply it with a brush it ends up all over your face, but for whatever reason, popping it on with your finger works a treat. I don't know if it would pick up on camera, but it just sort of adds like a really nice, like it's obviously glitter, demure glitter. Who knew there was a thing? Right, and we're going to take this brush here, which is what it's like a liner brush. This is by MAC. It is the 212, and it's sort of like a very flat liner brush. And I'm just going to take this red under my eyes. Initially it looks a bit scary, but once you've got mascara over it, it looks less scary. I think people forget mascara hides a multitude of sins when it comes to eyeshadow. Yeah, lashes. Ugh, if you put lashes on, which is totally an option here, that's what I do for it. Do you know what? I know I even mentioned the Stila one. Let's pop a little bit of the Stila. I'm going to put the Stila sort of in this bottom third, just underneath. And now for mascara, I'm going to be using two. So the Rollerlash I have is mainly just the brushes left. There's not a lot of sort of product left in this tube, but what I've been using is I've been using it to sort of separate my lashes further. And then the main mascara that I'm going to be using is by Beauty Pie, and this is their Flash False Lash Mascara. I know I've mentioned it before, but there is a Beauty Pie video coming from me. I've been signed up to their sort of service for a couple of months now, so I want to do a video showing everything on my face and let you know my thoughts. So that is definitely on its way. Alternatively, if there are other videos that you'd like me to film, then let me know. Anyway, I'm going to pop my mascara on. You've watched people pop mascara on before, and we'll be right back. Just thought I'd stop halfway through my layering. This is how, this is what we're dealing with here. So, Beauty Pie mascaras, I mean, this is the only one I've tried so far. It's alright, you know, I ain't mad. And here we are, eyelashes on. I do love a bit of liner, but do you know what? Shit tons of mascara doesn't have to do lots for you. Right, moving back to the face, got a few little bits. Remember I mentioned I got a Z palette? This is what I've got in it. These are all by Anastasia at Beverly Hills from their Pro Contour palette. All the shades I've got here at the minute. This is the lightest contour, this is like the banana powder, and this one's like kind of like a face powder. And as you saw, I've been using a lot of loose powders, but just for whatever reason, in case I forget one, got one in here. Anyway, so I'm going to be using a wee brush and just a bit of contour. And then moving back to an old favourite for highlight. By the way, I like to contour, highlight, then blush, because I find that sort of the contour and the highlight are sort of supposed to emulate the shape of your face, whereas blush emulates like the colour. So I feel like that they should go together. It's just science. So I've moved back to an old favourite. I know this has been in yearly favourites before. This is by Laura Mercier, and this is their highlighting powder 01. So wait, Matte Radiance Bakes Powder. This isn't matte. But it is a good highlighter, and it's Highlight 01. And I've just got this sort of small slanted brush, again from Real Techniques. And I really like the colour of it. It's just a really nice colour. Don't get me wrong, still love the Colourpop one, which I rave on and on about, Flexitarian. But I just wanted to dig this one back out. And also, by the way, I got this as a sample. I've not bought a new one ever, and it's going for days. This is just more of like a natural highlight. It's sort of like a day-to-day thing, whereas the Flexitarian is a little bit more ding ding, which, don't get me wrong, you can definitely rock that as a soft beat too. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to Blush. Again, another sample, which I just think is really good. This is by Tarte. This is the Amazonian Clay Blush in Party. As you can see, I've hit pan on it, so I think we're going to be saying parting ways soon. But honestly, as a sample, it's good. Again, another Real Techniques brush and another Duo Fiber one. This is, I don't know if I think this is just their stippling brush, but I love using this as a blush brush. And just sort of boop, 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 like a bit of like a pop and a sweep. So it sort of goes up with the face rather than it just sort of being on the apples of the cheeks. It's how I like to apply my blush. I like matte blush as well, by the way. I add highlight. That's where my highlight is. But then, because my contour's matte, I like having a matte blush. And now on for lips. And again, I don't have any brand spanking new lip products to talk about. So I'm going to be going for an old favourite combination. Look how small this lip liner is. This is Spice, which is 09, yes, by Milani. It's their colour statement lip liner. I think they have one which is like a wind-up pencil, and then this one which is a traditional pencil. This is the one that I like. You can get this on Beauty Bay though. You can get Milani on Beauty Bay in the UK, and it's I think £4. Anyway, it's my favourite. I love this colour. I wear it with more or less any lip products that I'm using. I like to outline sort of like the top of my lip where my sort of Cupid's bow finishes, so I don't go right down to the bottom, and then I do the same on my bottom lip, which I'll do now. And then I just sort of smudge them down it with my lips so it's not so defined around my lip, and then I go over with my lip colour. So this is Cake by Glossier. I'm really intrigued about trying Leo by Glossier because it is sort of more of a brown colour than this is sort of a pinky brown. And I don't think these lipsticks would necessarily be for everyone because they're quite a sheer formula. But paired with a lip liner, again, for every day, they're just super nice. Look, ding! Look at that. Anyway, yeah, I really need to get on Leo. I'm going to purchase the perfume because I've run out. And I think I'm going to order Leo as well. Ding! This is sort of my sans eyeliner, a little bit soft, kind of favourites video. I don't really know what to call this. Kind of a get ready with me? Why not? Anyway, as I said, please, please, please let me know what sort of videos you'd like to see from me. I'm out of uni, like I'm out of term, so I will definitely be able to make more videos. I have a Prague vlog, which I filmed in February, which, no promises, I want to upload it before I go to the States, which is the very end of June. And when I'm back from the States, I will do my June favourites. But yeah, so I want to have that up beforehand because I'm going to be vlogging that as well. So anyway, yes, thank you so much for watching. P.S. If you see my shop, I went to Download Festival and Alexis were great. Please feel free to get in contact. There's comments down below. Love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye!